my name's Laura and I'm currently doing a 10-day quarantine isolation period in New Zealand, in Auckland, and I'm on day 9 at the moment, so I feel like I'm pretty qualified to tell you guys how you can survive quarantine. So yeah, I'm just gonna go straight in. So first of all is the mindset that you go into it with. So obviously you get to go to this country, you get to quarantine, so many people haven't been able to travel and things, and then the fact that you can enter this country so long as you do the quarantine is it's just a benefit, isn't it? So there's no distractions with other people being there, or I mean, maybe there is other people there, maybe you are quarantining with someone else, but then that's time, that's quality time that you get to spend with that person that I'm assuming you like quite a lot, because otherwise why would you choose to be stuck in a room with them for 10 days? Fingers crossed if you are doing that. Yeah, so the second thing is to definitely have a routine. So make sure you at least get out of bed every day and make the bed potentially, I mean, to be fair, I don't think I make the bed every day, but you know what I mean, get out of bed, have a shower, make sure you get dressed. It doesn't even need to be you don't have to do your makeup every day, obviously, or if you do that, if you want to do that, it's fine, but it's not so much getting properly dressed, formal dressed, but so long as you've got some clothes that you didn't sleep in, the bare minimum, that will help you. Just try not to create bad habits, just try and use it as a time where you can work on yourself to better your sleep schedule, or I don't know, if you wanted to introduce a good habit into your life, I don't know, so you wanted to you've always really wanted to try meditation or something, then now you've got time, you've got so much time in this room that you might as well try and introduce that into your life. And then once you've spent however long your quarantine is, so some of them 7, some 10, and then sometimes it's 14 days, that's quite a that's a reasonable chunk of time that if you did that habit every day, you're likely to continue it afterwards. And third is to be kind to yourself. So even though you should have a routine, get out of bed and things, if all you've managed to do that day is get out of bed, then that's okay. You don't have to you don't have to be productive all the time, you're not a machine. It's just important to treat yourself kindly, how you would want to treat other people, basically. So it's not something everybody's going to handle this time differently, so if you're really struggling with it, then just do stuff that make you happy. You also need to be prepared, because 10 days or however long you're quarantining for, it was going to be a minimum of 7, I would assume. That's a long time. We don't a week is not very long, is it? But a week on your own with no outdoor entertainment, no outside entertainment, that's a long time. And if you have to do longer than a week, then good luck, because it's even longer and it's even harder. So yeah, just make sure you bring some sort of entertainment with you, and try and bring entertainment with you that doesn't require screen time. So you can bring I don't know, a puzzle book, or so a pack of cards, or a colouring book I brought, and that was really fun. What else? I don't know, if you want to journal, or if you want to read a book, that's obviously gonna pass a lot of time. Just try and think of literally anything that doesn't have to be on a screen, because then you're because otherwise you're gonna be relying on your screen a lot anyway. So yeah, just something physical that you can actually do, some sort of entertainment that is physical rather than on your screen. If you can, have a project to work on. So I don't know, if you can work from home, or if you're in school or uni or something and you've got work that you can be getting on with, that's ideal, bring that, definitely. If you have a job that allows you to work from different situations, I know over the pandemic, lots of people have been flexi working, and you're able to work from home, so you can work from home. Or if you want to film a YouTube video like I'm doing, or whatever, yeah, just if you've got some sort of project to keep you feeling you're contributing to society in some way, that definitely is a human need. So yeah, that would be very useful. Another thing is to rearrange your room, make it feel really homely, or how you want it, because obviously it's you that's going to be spending all this time there, and the hotel, the people in the hotel won't come in, it's not Like, you have room service to the door, but they don't come into your room, obviously. Don't know if that's obvious or not. But yeah, so obviously you can move stuff around, like, so you can move the chair somewhere else, move the bed around, change the whole room around if you want to, like, obviously up to a point. Like, if you physically can't move the thing, don't move it, and maybe leave the wardrobe where it is, because that's like big, but everything else. So yeah, and like make sure you unpack and things. You could also rearrange the room twice. So like, say you were staying for 14 days, you could rearrange it when you got there, and then after 7 days rearrange it again, so it feels like kind of different and fresh. You need to make sure that you make the most of the outside time. So depending on what hotel you get put in, and also what country and what the rules are, you'll have different amounts of time that you can go outside. It's in my hotel, after you've had the day 1 test results back, so as long as those are negative, you get like a blue band to wear, and then you can book time. So we have 2 different areas. There's one on the roof and one out by reception, so you can book the time to go for a walk there, and they vary time wise. So the one on the roof, I think, is like in slots, because then they clean it in between people being in there, so there's like only a certain amount of people. But then at the moment, the one on the bottom is rolling, so they don't clean it because it's just outside, like there's no like indoor area. So it's rolling, so you just ring up and be like, is someone there now? And then if there's too many people, you obviously can't go, and you have to wait for a bit, and they say, oh, can you call back in like half an hour or an hour or something. But then if there's only like a certain, I don't know what their numbers are, but if there's only like a certain amount of people, then you can just go. So I'm gonna call after I film this, actually. Well, another thing with that is that, like, obviously, like, you will have windows in your room. So I have these huge, massive, lovely windows in my room, so everything is like kind of focused around here, so it's like kind of makes me feel like it's outside. I mean, I know it's not outside, but like at least it's like a different view to like a wall. So like my bed is here, my chair is here, so if there's like, if I'm sitting, I can see outside, basically. Yeah, another thing that is really important to do, this one is like a basic human need, so this one's really important, is to communicate with people, so with your friends and your family. So anybody back at home, or, well, it depends if you're traveling or if you're arriving back in the country that you came from, kind of thing. So yeah, but anybody so that you left back at home, or anybody in the country that you're traveling to already, just make sure that you're FaceTiming them, you're ringing them or texting them, just like any sort of communication. Like, obviously FaceTime is best because it's like the most realistic. But yeah, so it's important to connect with people, and like try and, if there's like a lot of people that you want to talk to, you can like schedule them in and be like, oh, well, I'll talk to you at this time, and just like make sure that the time zones work as well, because potentially like the time zones will be completely opposite of what you're doing. So like, my family's from Britain and I'm in New Zealand, so it's like the complete opposite at the moment. So yeah, just try and like work out which time zones work and like who you want to speak to when. Another thing that could be interesting to do, depending on whether or not you're returning home or if you're traveling, because if you're returning home it won't apply as much, but is to connect with the country that you're in. So if you can like turn the radio on, you can watch local TV, you can research about the news, you can learn the history of the country that you're in. So like, if you're bored, then you might as well, like, if you're traveling to that country, so you evidently have an interest in that country, so you might as well like learn about how that country came about, or depending on what's interesting to you, that you could learn the language in that country. It's like useful to have a few phrases, even if you're not traveling for a very long time, even if you're not going to visit for very long, it's still useful to have a few phrases in the country that you're in. And last but not least is to find a little bit of unjaded jade casual magic. So just try and like find enjoyment in what you're doing, and you know, the things that are exciting. So like, when you get a little knock on the door and somebody like leaves your breakfast, or it's so exciting, and you can like get the food, like, what have they brought today? It's just like, just get excited about things that you probably wouldn't usually like even think twice about. Like, I mean, to be fair, I probably do get excited about food, but not breakfast, like not every single meal, do you know what I mean? And then like when the sun shines, which it's not doing right now, come on, it's summer, but yeah, when the sun shines and you just like get to lie in the sun for a bit, like, that's gorgeous. And just things that like are little things that you can like pick out from the day, like, oh yeah, I did enjoy that, that will like keep you positive and keep you going. So yeah, I hope that helped, and subscribe if you want to see some more.